Hello guys, welcome to another Garden Warfare 2 video. Today I'm doing my list of my top 5 favorite imps. So, let's just get into a list. So, my 5th favorite imp. Oh, wait, I'm already my 5th favorite imp. Haha, you thought I was just tricking you. But haha, Lil Drake is actually my 5th favorite imp. So, Lil Drake, I mean, his fire damage is pretty good. Like, at range, he's very inaccurate. Like, I miss like half of my shots, even though that area is pretty grouped up. So let's see. Like, let's start. Like, his spread is pretty bad. So at range, at best, you're gonna be a nuisance. You might get the occasional lucky kill, but you're just gonna annoy people at range. But still, you. At range, he's better than most imps. Like, most imps are pretty garbage at, like, mid-longish range. Well, Lil Drake, he can at least get the occasional kill. At close range, he's still hitting good damage. Like 5 damage and 6 critical. It's good rate of fire plus fire damage. Like, that's solid damage. But what prevents Lil Drake from being one of my favorite imps is his mech. His mech, in my opinion, is the worst mech. The worst mech. Like, seriously, okay. Okay, let's look at his mech. His mech is trash. Okay, sure, he's got that one sprint tackle. But after you use that one sprint tackle, he's got nothing to get close to people. Nothing. He's got a damage resistance ability, but so what? Like, you can't really get close to people since he's pretty slow and big. Well, he's not slow, but he is pretty big to hit. And I just find he lacks mobility. Like, if he's got 400 health, so what? Like, I think pretty much all the other mechs are really good at close range. I don't see what's the point of sacrificing only being able to be at close range, then have all range, but just be slightly worse at close range. Like, his mech just trash, in my opinion. Like, you may disagree, but personally, Lil Drake's mech just really brings him down for me. Like, and mechs are a big part of an imp, and having that trash mech, it's kind of a big deal for me. So, number 5, we have Lil Drake. So at number 4, we have the Scallywag imp. This character used to be complete and utter trash. Luckily, Podcat realized that this character was trash and actually buffed him. Now he's usable now. Like his rate of fire, like, he used to shoot a lot slower, but now his damage is actually pretty respectable. And at close range, he does pretty good damage. I think it's like 14, and then you do your 4 little damage at being close. No, I think it's 18 plus 4. Let me just check real quick. So yeah, you deal 15 and then 4 for your little splash damage that you have. Like, if you don't hit him with your direct damage, you see that little shotgun thing? Yeah, that's the 4 damage. So like about 20 damage a shot plus your shotgun thing. I keep on calling that. So damage at close range is pretty solid. And now that he's got a good rate of fire, like, that damage really adds up really quickly. And at mid range, it's not like he's awful. Like, you're probably not gonna secure a whole lot of vanquishes, but still not that bad. But again, what prevents him from being, oh, and yeah, and of course I forgot to mention, he's also a legendary variant. So after you get like 3 kills with him, you move faster and get damage resistant, which is pretty nice for an imp considering they have such low health. Unfortunately, doesn't get a damage buff, but I think that's worth the trade-off of being easier to get in his legendary mode. So, but again, with this imp in particular, I don't think his mech is very good. Like, I know I see a lot of people say, "Oh, his mech is just like the best mech." His mech is godlike. It is not really that good. Like, his shots, like, you kind of need the height advantage to get the most out of his mech. His mech, it does splash damage. So yeah, but you kind of need the height advantage for that. And if you don't have the height advantage, okay, let me just get into my mech right now. I can imagine this is probably going to be a long video. So, okay, let's see. You're in your mech. Okay, you got your height advantage. Like, if you got the height advantage, then this mech is actually pretty good. But it's kind of hard to get the height advantage with this mech. And if you're on, like, a ground-to-ground level, like, maybe it's just me, but I find it pretty hard to land direct hits. And if you're like a Citron, you need all direct hits. And if you get in close, like, then he hits damage pretty decently. And his abilities, like, he's got like a beam bomb variant, which is pretty decent if you're trying to capture. And an Imkata thing, like, I don't think Imkata's that amazing of ability, and I don't think this is that amazing either. I think it's just better to use your primary weapon, so. Mech, not a terrible mech, but one that I find pretty underwhelming, personally. So, in number 3, we got the Scallywag Imp. Number 4, we have the Scallywag Imp. Okay, for my third favorite imp, it is the completely balanced Z7 Imp. This character is freaking broken. Like, I don't see how anyone could die. This is easily one of the best zombie characters. At least top 5 minimum. Like, this character's DPS is ridiculous. Like, look. Like, you could just drop people so quickly, especially when you just use your skill. Like, seriously, after you just drop your skill gravity grenade, like, they just die. There's nothing they can do about it. And this character just has outrageous DPS. Like, personally, I don't have, like, one of those modded controllers that lets you shoot faster. At least with these semi-auto characters. So, personally, I find it for me a bit difficult to really get the most out of this guy's DPS. But if you have one, this character is, like, the most broken character ever. And I'm sure on, like, PC where I think it's easier to, like, do the semi-auto shots because you don't have an analog thing. And plus, it's easier to aim on PC. I'm sure this character is, like, probably the best zombie character. But I'm not 100% sure because I don't play on PC. This character is just godlike. Like, and I don't think Popcat will ever nerf this character. Like, since he's, like, paid with the deluxe edition. Like, so that's a bit of a shame. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, Z7 Imp, pretty broken. His mech, on the other hand, was certainly not that bad. But I think it's just a step below the other mechs. So, let me just give you my opinion on the mech. Okay, now I got the mech. Okay, his abilities, trash. Complete and utter trash. His DPS is really good, like Z7 Imp. So, and he's fully automatic, so that's nice. But I think this mech is a bit underwhelming just because of his abilities. Like, his sword blade ability, trash. Might as well just use your primary weapon. And his little grabby ability, it's just pretty bad. It's pretty unreliable. I'm sure you can catch a weed, but that's really it. So, Z7 Imp, just godlike, but his mech, kind of underwhelming. So there we have. So at number 3 we have arguably the most broken character in the game, Z7 Imp. So at number 2 on the list, it is good old Shrimp Imp. This imp, he's really good. He's one of my favorites to play. Like, he's just got a lot going for him. Like, one thing, sure, at close mid-range, his DPS isn't the best, but it is reliable. Like, sure, on some characters that have really high DPS, like, sure. Like, if you can get that DPS, they are just godlike. But you're not gonna get that high DPS all the time. But with Shrimp Imp, he's pretty easy to aim with, so you're gonna probably land most of your shots. And sure, his DPS may not be the most stunning, but it is very reliable to get. So that's something. And plus, unlike most imps, he's actually pretty good at mid-range. Like, he is accurate. Like, at mid-range, he's still a good imp. Like, most imps are pretty meh or decent at mid-range, but this character is actually good at mid-range. Let's see. Still landing a good majority of my shots, even at mid-ish ranges. And arguably the best thing about the Shrimp Imp is his mech. His mech is the best mech in the game. Undeniable. Like, at close range, it just deals so much damage. And at mid-range, it deals so much damage at any range. And it's so accurate. It's just a beam. And at any range, he is accurate. Sure, his water cyclone attack is terrible, but he does have mobility with his shrimp jump. So it's not like if he gets into a sticky situation, he's useless. Or can't get out and forced to eject, so. Really, Shrimp Imp, just his primary weapon alone makes it the best mech. And it's nice that he also has some mobility. So number 2, we have good old Shrimp Imp. And number 1 on the list, I don't think it'd be hard to guess if you've seen some of my other videos. It is Pylon Imp. I really love this character, like, at close range, he's really good. Sure, this character isn't as accurate as Shrimp Imp, but his damage is just so good at close range. It makes him really fun. But then again, his DPS is probably not the most reliable compared to Shrimp Imp. So that kind of sucks. But then again, you can't have everything. And his mech, my mech is like a minute away, so I can't show it to you. But his mech's ability, he's got pylon mine, so if you just put it around key points, like an entrance to the garden, plants will just walk into it and boom, blow up. So that's really like the best ability for a mech, is like the pylon mines. So that ability is just amazing. Again, your vanquishes. And he's got the sprint tackle, so if he gets into a sticky situation, you can sprint tackle out of there. Like, and there's some plants, like 2 plants, just get double sprint tackle value. So that's nice. So, yeah, so that's my top 5 list of my favorite imps. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. And remember, if you have a particular type of list you want to see, just write a comment. So, goodbye, guys.